Welcome to the channel. In this episode, we brave a swarm of mosquitoes to fix the steering on Nugget, travel another 100 miles on an Alaska gravel highway, and share some of our budget overlanding hacks for keeping our eggs safe. So stick around. So sometimes people ask, are the bugs really that bad in Alaska? Well, you know, I pulled in last night to work on the, well, we camped, but last night I was going to work on the steering, and I said, you know, I'll wait till morning, maybe the bugs will be better. What I had forgotten was one of the key rules about living in Alaska is that, well, the bugs could always be worse. So, yeah, they're pretty bad this morning. Yeah. So, I'm getting ready to work on the Scout. Boy. Oh God, it's in here. All right. It's too much. I gotta hurry up. I was going to do some video in here. So just to recap, yesterday we drove up from Anchorage and we made it to just before Glen Allen. Found us a nice place to camp. On the way here, in the last 5 or 10 miles, the steering got kind of squirrely. I would take a hard turn and nothing would happen for the first little bit of the turn, and then it would catch. And then the next turn it'd be okay, and the next turn it wouldn't. And it turned out the jam nut on the tie rod adjustment had unjammed. And so this morning I'm going to get that put back together. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to not turn this one. And I'm gonna just roll that nut back. And with luck, see that they greased it is what they did. Or something. Which was, I don't know, maybe it was, it's like they coated it with something. That's probably gonna give me problems all the way down the road. So, I have it turned back, and then I'm gonna put a little Loctite on it. It looks to me like they've put probably some kind of anti-seize, which has made it anti-firm, anti-connected. Ugh. Oh my God. That mosquito is actually sucking the blood out of a dead mosquito that is stuck on my bumper. Wow. Go get him, man. Get you some. It's actually very hot out here today. I got my sweater on. I figure it's one more layer they can't bite through. All right. It's moments like this that you should be thinking to yourself, look at what he's going through. I'm going to subscribe to his channel because that man really works at this. Ooh, oh, I just stuck a mosquito in the, ooh, well, that guy ain't flying again. Oh, God. Blah. All right, so tighten her up. Got my Loctite in there. Now, so, oh, it went, ugh. Got my Loctite in. Yeah.
I do have one that'll fit this. And I'm just gonna jam them together a little bit. So what I was doing was giving it a little spin to make sure this was flat, not kinked straight up in the air. So I've got this one flat now here, and it matches how this one here is flat. Here, so it matches how that one's flat, because I want to keep them. Well, you know, you don't want one turned up in the air like this. It's just going to wear out the bushing. I mean, the thing better. So now they're nice and flat. Now I'm going to tighten that jam nut up better. Some of you might be asking, where's April? Why isn't she not helping you with the video? Well, I'll tell you where she is. She is in that camper, waiting for me to get finished, because she's not an idiot. This is awful. It's hard to think with the bugs, I just gotta tell you. So now I'm gonna position myself to torque it. Torqued. I've got that torqued. I'm not gonna mess with the other side. It's not loose. At least now I know what it feels like. So if you're ever driving down the road and you take a turn to the left and everything's good, you take a turn to the right and or vice versa, and it's like 5 minutes ago everything was good, and then this time you have to go like an extra inch before it turns. So that happened coming up the road, and I stopped and I looked and I couldn't see anything wrong. I thought, well, something's wrong, but there's not. So I kept going, and then it wouldn't do it again, and it was because that jam nut, on some turns the jam nut was holding, because I would turn back into it, and that bar wants to twist when you turn left and right. So it would jam into it and it would work good, and then I'd go around the hard curve and it would let loose, and then my steering wheel would go, and nothing would happen for, I don't know, an eighth of a turn, maybe like that. Enough to make you go, wait, what was that? Oh, whatever, there it is. And then it would be okay again. It's because that nut had, the jam nut had broken loose. Now, I don't see how it could have like caused, I mean, other than me steering causing an accident, obviously. But as far as like it coming loose or falling, wheel turning, nothing like that. I don't see how that would have happened. But it was enough that I went into one turn and I went over the double line, because when I went to make my turn, it didn't turn. And so I was like playing catch up for a second, and then it turned, and then when I came back, it jammed back together. So anyway, fixed now. At least I know what I'm looking for if it happens again. I got Loctite on it now, and it's blue. I should be able to break it loose if I had to. So now I'm gonna get my stuff picked up here, and then we'll get out these bugs and grab April out of the teardrop and hit the road and get up somewhere where the wind is blowing a little more. You know, a breeze in Alaska is a blessing. So yeah, I should have done this last night. The bugs can always be worse. Gotta remember that. Gotta remember that. A rule of being in Alaska. The bugs can always be worse. And honestly, I've been in places where they're worse than this. But this is right up there with some of the worst. Anyway, let's get on the road. Incidentally, one of the best things my wife ever bought me for the trip. Track mat. See that? Track mat. It is a folding foam with a felt-ish kind of material on the side or something. Anyway, I've been using this particular one for pretty much the whole time I've been working on this Scout, because in Bethel I lived, our driveway was dirt, not a lot of gravel, but dirt. And I used this crawling around under the Scout. And it has really held up well. I really thought that the perforation here where it folds would break eventually. And it seems like it has gotten bigger. I don't know if you can see through there, the light. But it hasn't let go yet. Great. Boy, so many internationals here. He's got this one. The truck over there I showed in an earlier video last year. Check that out. This is a new one. And that is definitely an international. Check that out. It's got a sliding door. There's where the triple diamond badge would have been. That looks like a super comfortable way to ride. Nice. That's some high-tech wing nut seat adjustment. Big cargo truck. I mean, holy, look at that. It's pretty roached back here, but certainly a cool vehicle. Looks like someone used it for construction. 7th Avenue BR 265. BR 265. This is the old phone numbers, like BR 549. I don't know if you guys remember that. Anybody remember that? So do you remember BR 549? I bet if you think about it. If you remember what that is, put it in the comments. We'll see who's first. There's a good story about that old International. You'll have to check it out. I think it was in my 3rd or 4th video. I won't go through it now, but yeah, the homesteader who settled in the area here, he and his 2 brothers drove that up from Michigan. I think it was Michigan. April using the hair dryer this morning, poking her head in the wing window.
Trying to fix my beautiful eye.
Oh, yeah, man, look at them, look at Mosquito got her. It wasn't me, I promise. Mosquito popped her good. Ugh. She rubbed her head last night, smashed a mosquito on her forehead. Looked like she killed a mouse. There was blood all the way down to her cheek. So we are in Glen Allen, Alaska. We're headed to Tok. Next, my wife just bought me some highway burritos, but they're cold. So some of you guys have been asking what this is. This is my hot dogger from my snowmobile in Bethel. And what you do is you pop it open and it's an aluminum box. And you stick your burrito in it and close the lid. And we let the motor slow cook that while we drive. We'll see how it goes. So now I will slow cook my burrito for 30 minutes at 180 degrees. Perfect. Choices. Guess we'll go to Canada. Road construction in Alaska, I don't mind it unless we're on a hill going up. Then you have to implement the standard knock it out of gear, hold the brake, and then plant your other foot behind that foot to hold that foot in place so you can hold the brakes while you sit here on the hill, which sucks a little, but it works. The upside is that I have good brakes now, and I put in a new master cylinder, and they hold and don't fade, which is perfect. It looks like the river is working very hard to take this. Yeah, it's about as close as I'm going to get.
That's it.
So let's see how the burrito has turned out. Need my oven mitts. Hot, hot. Nice and warm. Let's see how it does. All right. Warm. Probably could have used another 50 miles of cooking, but good. Cheers. Yay, new pavement. Well, that sounded good. What do you think of that, April?
No. All I think of is how can I scrape that off the camera?
Oh boy. There's a caribou sign. You don't see those very often. The Little Toke River, we must be getting close-ish. Pulled in to get gas at Toke, and apparently they knew I was coming. Perfect. Now I don't have to feel guilty about it. Well, I'm here at the Toke, Alaska post office, and I just picked up 2 letters. One from Tony and one from Larson. One from Brentwood, Tennessee, and one from Canton, Georgia. So we'll open these up and see what the stickers look like. I've been doing sticker trades on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it's the same as the channel, vintage.overlanding.alaska on Instagram. Anyway, let's check them out. All right, so we have from Eric in Tennessee. Cool Scout ones. They'll go up here somewhere. We'll find a place for them. Very nice. Nice rig. The Mad Max Scout. Nice. And it was Eric, and then this is from Tony Swell. And this is, let's see if I can. And his daughter Lila. Enjoying the channel, following your adventures, safe travels. The cash is for gas in the tank. Well, thank you, Tony. You'd have to do that. He's got a nice Bronco. Those will look good. Those will look good up there. Won't get you far, but yeah, it'll get me, 20 miles. No, more than that. 40 miles. Tell you. P.S. Your wife needs more camera time. She seems like a lovely person. There you go, Tony.
Not really.
You don't know her that well. We're having a blast. Okay, so we're in Toke. So far, Scout's doing well. Thank you guys. So far, the Scout's going well. Hi to your daughter. I forgot, what's her name? Lila. Hi to Lila. Thanks for watching. So Scout's doing well. We're in Toke, Alaska. We are turning here. So you could go from here to the Canadian border in 100 miles, I'd say. Maybe less, I'm not sure. And that's where most people go. But you got to put a little gravel in your travel. So we are headed from here north. And we're going to do what they call the top of the world highway. We'll be camping, boondocking out on that tonight. It goes across, you go through the border, then you have to cross a river on a ferry, and then go into Dawson City, which, if you've watched any Westerns in your life, you might have heard of, or anything about the Gold Rush. So we're going there, and we're going to chill there for a night. So anyway, it's 2 o'clock, and my wife says it's time for lunch. No, she did, absolutely. She looks like she's starving. Holy cow. So, anyway, we're going to find something to eat. Let's see, over here we have... All right, Tony, Lila, and Eric, you are officially on the trip. And... there. Finally, I get to pass something, and it is a whole house. So we just started up the top of the world highway, also called the Taylor Highway. Is that right? Taylor Highway. I mean, we've been on it for like 5 miles and already the views are astounding. The road is pretty rough. So we're taking our time, and it's steep. I would say that section I just came down was a solid 10-12% grade for a little bit anyway. It's kind of a hazy day, but the views are still spectacular. our camp for the evening. April setting up the Bug Zapper 3000. There are mosquitoes here. It's not nearly as bad as it was, but they are here. But they're here, they're everywhere, you know. I think I'm gonna try a little gold panning in the river there somewhere. See what we get. Maybe near that bedrock right over there. Because the river clearly at some point in its history went around that way. And if it got into the cracks of that bedrock and pluck it out of there, life would be good. I will have to get my feet wet. Maybe it could stay. We'll see. Okay, so you can buy eggs in cartons that are, what are they called? Pre-broken? I don't know.
Eggs in a carton.
Eggs in a carton.
In a
Which
milk
is
carton.
a lot easier because you put it in your cooler, right?
Clarify
But,
carton. Milk carton.
well, they're not in a milk
That is a
carton, they're in
carton.
an egg carton.
No, they're not. They're in a milk type.
So, and it's great, but the problem is then you go to a store and they don't have any, and then you have to haul eggs around, which get broken because of, did you see the road we just drove? So here's the new plan. We're making our own. So what we've got,
A funnel.
got a funnel, but it's also a Ziploc. And so we take the eggs
And a Gatorade bottle.
and we bust them into a bowl,
And scramble them.
and she scrambles the tar out of them. Scrambles them good, put them in the Ziploc,
Cut the corner.
seal the Ziploc, cut the corner, and then put the corner inside the Gatorade bottle, and we make our own pre-broken carton style egg concoction.
Milk carton.
But the great thing is that it sits in the cooler wonderfully, and it doesn't break along the road, and
Cheaper.
it's cheaper. Also, you can, if you was to take your time and really care, you could put in 2 eggs and put a little line on the bottom, and then do 2 eggs and a little line on the bottom, 2 eggs and a line on the bottom. But
We just fill it to the pan covers.
we just covered a little spot in the pan and we call it good.
Lazy. Lazy campers.
No, we call it good.
Efficient.
Efficient. We call it efficient, and, you know, not fumbling around with the minutia of knowing how many eggs you're eating.
Okay, now I need my handle.
All right, so I gotta work now. So now we have it in the Ziploc. We hold up one corner so she can snip the tip off. Ooh. And then we take our time and we put it in the jug. But I'm gonna put the camera down because this takes more hands. You get, oh, actually it's working. She's doing it. You got this, babe.
Somebody does.
And look at that.
18 eggs fit in a 28-ounce Gatorade bottle. Check it out.
Exactly 18 eggs fit in a 28-ounce Gatorade bottle. Sweet.
Nope, not OJ.
Not OJ. Kind of looks like OJ. The drink. This isn't one of those fancy YouTube channels, you know, where we sit around and make steak and pre-prepared foods for the evening. Nope. We sit around and eat chips and cheese and crackers and, yeah, nothing too fancy. Right, April? Cheers. Chips and dip. Yeah. If there's one thing we're not, it's fancy.
You know.
Did you see what we drive? There's nothing here fancy.
You see his pants?
Do you see my pants? All stained up. Yep, there's nothing fancy. Still a beautiful evening, though. We're watching the hillside up there because we think there's a chance we might see a bear. Maybe. Who knows? I got my emergency brake set. Check that out. Well, we're going to call it a night. Get a little rest. We have a big day at the border tomorrow. But while we're doing that, why don't you take a second and click the subscribe button? Thank you.